out there, Facebook land. Thanks for joining. I appreciate you joining me here today. We're going to be going live on the radio in a few. So we will get started. I got some good stuff for you today. And we're ready to rumble. I hope you all had a good week. It's been an interesting week here, for sure. We'll allude to it a little bit. Just talking to people, I think we all have something. Everybody's got something going on.
50 seconds.
I can't. I'm having a hard time hearing you.
How about now?
Perfect. All right. Thank you. Okay. All right. Less than a minute. The airport's pretty busy today. A lot of people walking around. Hello everyone, hope you are doing well. TGIF, and what a Friday it is. The weather is absolutely perfect. It's sad, it's actually amazing that what a warm and sunny day it has been today. Sadly, of course, I was chained to my desk all day. We are remarkably busy at the office, which is great, not complaining, but I did not even have time to break for lunch today, so it's been one of those days. Looking forward to the weekend, so thank you for tuning in and spending some time with me today. I am glad you're here. You are listening to the Financial Chick Show, and I am the Financial Chick. My name is Denise Nostrom, the CEO and owner of Diversified Financial Solutions, a full-service independent financial planning firm located in Medford. Your Financial Chick is here to help you make better financial decisions and choices to improve your life and reduce your anxiety and stress about money. If you want to know more about me or my firm, check out my website at financialchickshow.com. I'm also on Facebook and Instagram at Diversified Financial Solutions, so like our pages to get updates and see what is happening. So it really does feel like we're going off the rails on a crazy train, am I right? I mean, it's just been really, well, it's not even just this week. It's been several weeks at this point. I'm at the point where nothing really surprises me anymore. Not sure that's a good thing, because you just become catatonic, and for those of you needing the definition, that's meaning immobile or unresponsive, in an unresponsive stupor. So I'm not there yet, but there are days I feel like I'm pretty close. It's been a pretty trying week in my personal life. For those of you that have teenagers, you know exactly what I'm talking about. We think it's hard when our kids are babies or toddlers, but that has nothing on the teenage years. Yes, they're independent, but they are not that smart. Sorry, teenagers out there, if you are listening here in Radio Land. But you know what I'm talking about. As parents, we need to be alert and on top of you guys just as much as when you were babies and maybe even more. The unfortunate part is that you can't throw them into a swing or a rocker to make sure that they are safe. So it's never a dull moment. So we have that. I mean, again, it's like the real point is that we're all human and we're all dealing with stuff. We all have something. And then, of course, there's the noise of the happenings in the world, politics, and the economy. 2022 has been one of the top 5 worst starts to a year for stocks, but not only stocks, bonds too. It feels like there's nowhere to run and hide. Everyone I speak to is upset with all the money they, quote, lost. Wording means a lot. It hurts, and no one ever wants to lose money. I hate when my clients lose money. I hate when I lose money. But you don't lose or actually lose money until you sell what you have if you're down. So we must go back to the main reason why you wanted to invest in the first place, right? So I know most of you, if I say that question, this is what most people would say, is that I wanted to invest because I wanted to make money. Now that's true, but there's more to that question, or more to that answer, maybe I would say. Yes, you want to make money, but in what time frame? If you just started within the past 6 months, I'm sorry, your loss is probably pretty good. But the point is, when do you need this money? If you got time, you're in good shape. Are you looking to invest this money to buy a house in 3 years, or maybe retire in 20 years, 30 years, whatever your number is? If you were investing for 1 year, you should have never been in the market in the first place. To run for the hills now is probably not a good plan. And the reason I say just, if you don't have the time, there's usually a 5-year, if we take a look at a 5-year, in a market cycle, 2 years is usually not so good and 3 years will be good. So if you're hitting the year that's not so good in your 1-year time horizon, obviously it's not the best plan. So if you've been listening to the show, I was telling you to take some money off, or take some money off the table last year with all the big gains that we had seen in 2021. At the end of last year, the S&P 500 ended up 28.7%. The NASDAQ was up 21.4%, and the Dow Jones ended up at 18.7%. Now, numbers can be overwhelming to hear, especially on the radio. It's more effective in person when I show people. But the point is that those numbers were unbelievable. I tell people if you get a year where you're up 4 to 6%, you should be thrilled and kiss the ground, because it's a good thing. We ended up anywhere from 3 to 5 times more than that. It is the adage, what goes up must come down. That is what the stock market is all about. So it's like having a big win at the casino. You have a couple of choices, right? So, actually we had a similar thing. We went to the casino down in Florida a couple of weeks ago, and my husband happened to hit. Now, he had a couple of choices. What was his choice? Do you keep betting, just keep putting it back in, hoping you're going to double that figure, which happened to be pretty decent? Do you walk away and just take whatever gain that you have and just walk away from the table or walk away from the slot machine? Or do you, another option, take the money back that you came with? So let's just say you invested $200 and you were up $1,200. Your new balance was $1,200. Let's say you were up $1,200. Do you take that $200 that you came with and play with the house's money, or maybe some other number or figure in there? The choice is yours, but know what the consequences may be and do what you want. And you don't want, and you have to think to yourself: do you want to bet away what you kind of know? What's what do they call it? The bird in the hand is whatever that thing is, but in the bush or something. I don't know. But if you have money in your hand, now you're in control. So it's really depending on what you decide to do with it. So you don't want to bet away your retirement or the education for your kids. So it's the same thing with investing. You had the opportunity, and sometimes that's why you work with a financial advisor, because we take the emotion out of investing. It's hard. Well, I will say, when we were in the casino, and I said to my husband, I walked past and he told me how much he was up, and I'm like, you need to walk away right now. I mean, if you want to have fun, take the money that was the gain and just play with the rest of it, which is the house's money, right? So basically that's what we need to do. So this week, I had a client ask me if they would do better in the stock market versus the bank. Now, of course, that's, a timely question, or it could be a question that is based on a certain time that we have. So let's take a look at the present time. The rate you're currently earning at the bank will obviously change over time. Right now we're in low interest rate environment. Although the Fed did increase the interest rates by 25 basis points, we have what's called a Fed fund target rate at 0.25, went up to 0.5. So we should see rates going up a little bit. There's good news and bad news to that, but let's keep moving along on this thing. So rates are going to change over time, but at the current rate, let's just say you're receiving 1%. I'm being super generous at this point. The banks are coming out with teaser rates that you're getting 1% for 10 months, a year, whatever the case may be. But so you got the 1%, and let's just say you can conservatively average 5% over time in the stock market. Well, it appears the answer is pretty clear, right? That there are risks to investing, but there are risks to keeping all of your money at the bank too. So that spread between the 1% you get at the bank and the 5% in the market, obviously you'd be up in the market, but there's risk. The thing is that with inflation right now, which is another piece of the puzzle, which we don't usually think about when we think about investing, but it's very apparent, and I'm sure you all feel it right now, at 7.9% inflation, if you have all your money at the bank getting 1%, you are losing purchasing power and not keeping up with inflation at a rate of 6.9%. That's pretty substantial. This is how one runs out of money, especially in retirement, which is the biggest fear that people have and the biggest goal, or the thing that most clients or most prospects or clients that come into my office say is their biggest or their number one concern. Bottom line, you need to have a plan. It is amazing how quickly things can change. In February of 2021, inflation was at 1.4%, and now it's at 7.9%. Just to put that on the record, this is not due to Putin and the conflict that has been going on now for about 3 weeks. It's been going on a whole lot more prior to that time. So you can't believe everything you hear, and you can't believe the hype. But the bottom line is that you really need to take a look at your investments right now, and not in a rash fashion, meaning, you run for the hills or knee-jerk that I'm getting out. In looking at people's portfolios right now, there are certain things that are doing very well, and there's certain things that are doing very poorly. Now, of course, in timing, if people have been in the market for a long time, they haven't felt the pinch as opposed to people that have been for a shorter period of time. And I know I've talked about this on the show. Keep investing. Don't stop your 401ks. Don't stop putting into your Roth. This is the best time to do that. This is your financial chick, Denise Nostrom. The company's Diversified Financial Solutions. I help you look for financial solutions when you feel like there are none. Feel free to contact me at 631-758-8691. We are closing in on the commercial break, so stay tuned. But we're going to talk a little bit about tax filing and some opportunities that you have there if you filed your taxes, or even if you haven't filed your taxes, and some uplifting stuff too, because boy, we really all need it. So stay tuned. This is the Financial Chick Show. There's a big glare. I can barely see you guys. And we're not going to do the commercial again. We're going to go right in, right? Okay, cool. Yeah, awesome.
We got about a minute and a half.
I know I'm having a hard time hearing you guys. I mean, I can hear.
How about now?
But you're good. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Thanks. All right, commercial break. We're ready to roll. Part 2 in a few. There are so many people here at the airport. Oh my gosh. And what happens is in the airport, they can all hear my show out there. So as they're coming by, they're all like looking in, and it's kind of interesting.
Seconds.
Okay, thank you. Welcome back. This is Denise Nostrom, the Financial Chick. My company is in Medford, and you can reach me at 631-758-8691 or visit my website at financialchickshow.com. I'm here to help you on your financial journey. Over the years, things change, and I'm here to help you navigate all of those changes. So today we are exactly 1 month away from the tax filing deadline. So have you done your taxes yet? I'll be honest, I did it. I'm actually going next week. I know some of you, or at least my clients, some of you have already filed and done, and the rest of you are scrambling and trying to get all your stuff together. And, unless you're filing for an extension, then of course you have some extra time. But this time is really the busiest time of the year, or one of the busiest times of the year. No one likes to pay taxes, but we know that what makes the world go round and pays for things that we have to do in this state and in the country. But sadly, we don't really have a lot of tax breaks anymore. So people do need to be aware of things that they can do and the legal stuff that you can do. So I'm going to tell you a few of those things. So if you have a 401k or a 403b plan at work, make sure you contribute to the plan. This is one of the few tax breaks that we have, pre-tax breaks that we have in our arsenal, so to speak. It's able to bring down your income. So there's tax brackets, and we want to try to bring down that income as much as we can. So by putting into the 401k, use an example, let's say somebody makes $30,000 a year, and they decide to put $4,000 into their 401k or 403b. They're only going to pay tax on $26,000. So you're doing two things there. You're saving on taxes today, but you're also planning for your future. And so that's a really good thing. And depending on the company, you might even get a match. So if that's the case, that's kind of a no-brainer, and you really should try to push yourself to take that match. That's free money. You can kind of add that onto your income, to your salary. So, if you work for a company that does not have a retirement plan, like the 401k or 403b, you're not out of it. You can still, find ways to reduce your taxable income. And, you can open up your own plan. And I don't know if many people are aware of that. You can open what's called a traditional IRA and put away up to $6,000 or $7,000 with the catch-up for those who are over the age of 50. So basically, it's the same type of thing. The same $30,000 example. Let's say you have the wherewithal to put the full $6,000 in. You bring the income down to 24 in this case, and it's pre-tax money. So once the money goes into the traditional IRA, you don't pay taxes on it, and you get a tax savings, and you're saving for retirement. But one other really cool thing, depending on your income, you may also qualify for a retirement savings credit. So you can get a tax credit for just putting money away for your own retirement. Has anybody ever told you about that? If not, you should definitely research it and find out about it. On the other hand, if you are doing your retirement plan at work, or your income is under a certain threshold that you don't really need that pre-tax benefit, you can open up what's called a Roth IRA. The traditional IRA and Roth IRA do not incur taxes each year, so they're not reported on your tax return, which is great. And that means so much more at this time of year when everybody's gathering all their tax documents. It's like the worst thing, like, oh, I got to pay tax on this, I got to pay tax on that. The Roth IRA works the same way with regard to the amounts. It's $6,000 for people under 50 and $7,000 for those under 50. The great part is not having the taxes each and every year. It's a little bit different at the end. The traditional IRA is taxable at the end, and the Roth IRA is tax-free throughout, the time and when you take it. And I know I've done shows about that. We're not going to kind of go into the intricacies, but if you ever have questions, just go to my website, ask the question, give a call to the office, we're good. But the beauty of it with the Roth IRA, you may also be eligible for the retirement savings tax credit for that too, which is pretty cool. And then another really neat thing is that you may or may not know, did you know that you can still do your 2021 IRA or Roth IRA contribution up until the tax deadline filing of April 18th? So what does that mean? Well, basically, it's a few different things that, maybe certain circumstances that you might have filed your taxes or whatever the case may be. This is always typically good to do the traditional IRAs before you file taxes if you're going to do it for the year prior. So for example, you find out that you're going to owe money and you don't have a retirement plan at work, and you have some extra money maybe in a savings account that's not getting any interest. You can open up a traditional IRA for year 2021 and take it off your taxes. Again, this is only if you didn't file your taxes yet. So if there's any special considerations, definitely give the office a call. But if you haven't filed your taxes, give the office a call too. And we can hook you up with an IRA to reduce the amount. It's better to put the money in your retirement account as opposed to sending it to the government, right? So that's a smart thing to do. And so the Roth IRA too. The Roth IRA, not really tax return sensitive, so to speak, unless you have that tax credit in play. But if you have some extra money, I hear people like, I have money in my savings, I'm not getting any interest on it, I want to do something. A Roth is a great thing to do. You could put up to that $6,000 or $7,000. It's money that's for your retirement. Always kind of give you a little bit of a extra piece there too. It's available if you need it. If you put in $2,000 at the end of the year, it grew to $2,200. You could always take out the $2,000 if God forbid something happened, you had an emergency. That gives you a lot of power, and it gives you comfort too, knowing that, oh my God, I don't have to like put this away like the traditional IRA till 59 and a half, because taking money out of a traditional IRA prior to 59 and a half incurs not only the taxes but a penalty too. So there's so much that that could be in your circumstance that could better your life, and it's a lot of times the things that we don't know that that could be so beneficial. So definitely find out about your own situation with regard to income, your taxes. Talk to somebody before making any of these investments, or making a choice between the traditional IRA, the traditional IRA and the Roth IRA. So many people are doing their 401k and doing a traditional IRA, and that kind of doesn't make sense in many cases. There are certain special circumstances that it works, but for the majority of the people, it does not. So definitely reach out, let me know. And like I always say, the financial stuff, it should not be a burden, but it should be a beautiful journey. So take advantage of some of these tax benefits. And one other thing for people, whether you have you're self-employed or you have a side hustle, did you know that you can open up your own 401k? It's called a solo K, and it's a great way to, some of those profits that you have from that business, whether it be a side hustle or your own business. You can put money away there. So definitely give a call to the office and find out about these exciting things that you may not be taking advantage of. But we don't have to go backwards. I mean, some of the things I've talked about, but going back to 2021. But it's still early in the year, and you can put all these plans in place and really have a great year and be much more prepared for tax season next year. So. All right, like I said, I wanted to end off in something positive. So we're going to have 8 pieces of wisdom that can change your life. This came across my my desk at some point this week, and I found it to be pretty good, so I hope you do as well. First thing is that words are powerful. Use them wisely. Kind of like what I was saying before, that everybody's coming in saying, oh my God, I'm losing all this money. Technically, the accounts are down, but you're not losing money unless you sell. So words are powerful. Use them wisely. People come and go, but the right ones stay. Very interesting. I won't expound on that, but I'm sure many of you can feel that one. You are doing enough, even if it doesn't feel like it. You're getting up each day, you're getting to work, you're doing your things. You're saving for your retirement, putting into your savings account, whatever it is. Even if you feel like you're not doing enough, if you're doing something, give yourself credit. Failure is when you don't try. Now, I hear people like, oh man, they come to me like, I want to retire next month, and it's not that it's a failure, but you try to do things earlier, try to plan things, but failure is when you don't try. So definitely just try to try. Random acts of kindness make everyone feel better, and in the world we are today, we definitely need a little bit more of that. And I'll tell you, I have a guest next week. I'll tell you at the end when I wrap up the show. Live for today, not for tomorrow. Now, as a planner, I kind of struggle with that one. Obviously, it is important to live for today, but it is important to plan for tomorrow. But enjoy the day and don't miss it, because you're not going to get it back. Never look back. There's nothing there for you. So just look forward. I had a person that came into the office today and was talking about it. I said, well, you know what? We can't go back. We can only go forward. So let's just not worry about those old things. And finally, overthinking kills happiness. And that's a real true statement too. Just try to live in the moment, and don't overthink things. Just sometimes go with the flow. It's just easier to kind of roll with the punches. So I want to thank you all for tuning in today. I'm extremely excited to report that spring starts on Sunday. Very excited. If you know me, this is going into my time. I love it. Winter can move on. I'm also thrilled to have a guest with me next Friday to discuss how to cope with all the noise that's going on today and live a better life. So remember, let's try to do better and be better. Enjoy the weekend, and I'll see you next Friday. And that is a wrap. Well, when I'm on this laptop, I never know. If I do it on my phone, I usually can see who's on, but I don't see who's on. So whoever did join today, I thank you, and I appreciate you taking the time out. And it is spring this Sunday, so I'm so excited. So have a great weekend, and I will see you all next Friday. Bye-bye.